Hey, welcome to another episode of Business and Brews. I'm Matt Pierce, founder and CEO of Immediate and the host of Business and Brews. We're here in Homewood with Dr. Curt Carver, who's VP and Chief Information Officer at UAB, which is recently announced as Forbes 2021 Best Large Employer in the U.S. Congratulations on that. That is really awesome. To get started, I'd love to just hear about your role and what brought you to UAB and what you do on a day-to-day basis.
So my role at UAB is, as you stated, Vice President and CIO, but I really consider myself as leading an organization of agents of innovation. So our job is to really make the lives of folks better around us. And in fact, we just announced an initiative this year called Champions of Excellence, where we want our folks to improve the lives of the folks around us and enable them to do great things. So that's really how we look at it. And we really started this back when I first came to UAB in 2015. And what we announced was a project called 100 Wins. We want to improve the lives of our faculty, our students, and our staff in at least 100 ways each year. And in fact, one of the things we do here, which we haven't done because of the pandemic, but we'll get back to, is every time a Star Wars movie comes out, we rent the theater out and we take all of our folks there. And at the beginning of it, I'll go, I don't care if you're a Sith Lord or a Jedi Knight. I really don't care. What I care is that you think you can change the destiny of the galaxy by yourself.
Wow.
That's what I want. I want agents of innovation. I hire people smarter than me, because if I hire people dumber than me, I'll end up doing your job and then I'll fire you. And I'd rather hire people smarter than me. And my wife quibs almost instantly, well, that should be the easiest thing you do every day. And so we kind of work through this idea of empowering them, making sure that our employees have the right resources and that they have the capacity and they have the right outlook, and we mentor and train them, but then we unleash them. And the idea is, again, this idea of being champions.
When I think about the way that tech ecosystems grow, there's got to be somebody that's leading the charge. And when I see what UAB has done and continues to do, and in the 6 years you've been here, what UAB has done, that's just incredible. So thank you. What are things that, as an early stage company, and obviously it doesn't have to be just UAB, you've worked at a lot of big companies. When early stage companies come and try to present to a larger organization, help them understand a little bit about what that process looks like.
One of the things to understand is that the larger companies are rooting for you. We talked about earlier this idea of a technology ecosystem. Your company winning is my company winning. Innovation Depot companies winning is Regents and UAB and Compass Health. Vulcan, everybody, all the large companies, we win when those small companies win, because we deepen the technology ecosystem, we deepen the pool, we create additional collaborators where we can have these collisions and new ideas of how things happen. So we are rooting for you. We want you to succeed. So understand that. But you got to delight. It's got to be something transformational. I think, on a more critical sense, we've got to get more intentional about how we help develop companies here. The thing that troubles me the most right now is that if you're a startup in Birmingham, your initial contract, that's the crown jewel, you got a contract. But your initial contract's probably not with a Birmingham company.
Right.
It's probably with Nashville or Austin or Atlanta. That's wrong. That's just flat out wrong. Right. We're not growing our own.
Right.
We're actually planting the seeds for those companies to move somewhere else. We got to stop that. And the way we stop that is being intentional about investing in those companies and setting things up. I have a strategic interest in you succeeding. You should have a strategic interest in being a partner, not a vendor. We don't work on quarterly cycles. Do not send me that, hey, we've got a sale.
Right.
I don't care. That just means you're a vendor. That means you're not a partner. A partner means through good times and bad, I am creating value for you and you are creating value for me.
Right.
And if the economy goes down, we work win-win. If the economy goes up, we work win-win. Okay? But it's a longer term relationship. And then, the last piece of that, just like I'm invested in the technology ecosystem, if you make it, then you need to invest.
Early on in this organization, there were times we found ourselves in front of really big groups that, quite frankly, we weren't prepared for. We weren't ready to be there, but we would put in as much work as we could as possible before we went in so we could present as if we were prepared for it, right? Yeah. And as we've grown now and we sit down in front of organizations, we know 100% that there are not questions they're going to ask that we haven't thought through and prepared for. And to your point, that we've done the prep work beforehand. So it's so encouraging to hear that. And obviously to hear that you and UAB want to see this tech ecosystem succeed. I feel it. I see it.
We need to be intentional because we have a moment in time in Birmingham, a moment in time, and we must seize it to really make substantive changes. It's not something that happened 40 years ago. It's not something that's going to happen 40 years in the future. It's right now.
Right.
And we need to be very intentional about right now, making sure that this city continues to thrive and drive forward, and that's being strategic and courageous in making decisions.
That's it for another Business and Brews Birmingham. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Dr. Curt Carver from UAB, thank you for being here.
Delighted to be here and be a part of it.